Well, I'm Spencer Mumford of Skaplace Promotions, and as part of our program of bringing ska and reggae and mod uh, events to Wales, Cardiff, Newport, Swansea, Bristol, I'm going to be talking to a number of people involved in the scene, one of whom is internationally acclaimed artist Duane Forrest. And Duane, tell us all about how you got started, your heritage, what your love of music is, where it's come from, your style. Over to you, Duane.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, I grew up in Toronto, but my parents are from Jamaica, and they're from Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, fine place to be.
Fine place to be. And so being born here though didn't affect that music stream kind of getting downloaded into me. I grew up. I remember being young, growing up, and my mom having like a. We used to laugh and used to call it bachelor parties, right? But like you invite all your friends over to the basement. You put some like colored paper around the light bulbs, like create like kind of a red blue room, and just like great reggae music, playing and bumping through the house. And I grew up with that, and it's like it's just in me. The rhythm, the backbeat, everything's just in me. So it creeps out into a lot of what I do. So I grew up on that, but I also grew up on jazz.
Where did that come
Yeah,
from? I mean, who was around you in your community that was into jazz?
yeah. It's been really interesting because like I can't even remember. I must have been just going through radio stations when I was young and just stumbled on it because there wasn't like a person that introduced it to me. But once I heard it, it just grabbed me. It just totally just grabbed me.
What do you? I mean, you,
The
you must have,
reggae.
you must have been, sort of surrounded by country music as well. I would imagine. So to hear
Yes,
something like
yes.
jazz is quite a change.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And I it is quite a change. But even the country music influence, I'm a really affected by these different type of music streams, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, so for jazz, yeah, it was quite a change. None of my friends were listening to it, right? No one
yeah.
in school where I grew up was listening to it, and I really got into it,
What
and
did they What did they
uh,
think of you listening to jazz? Did they think you were some kind of nerd or something, or did they think you were
yeah,
cool as beans?
yeah. It was pretty strange, and it wasn't even the worst of it. The worst of it was I listened to classical music as well.
Yeah,
I got into classical music as well, and just started getting really hungry for it. So I was a little strange. I listened to reggae, but I also listened to jazz and I listened to classical, and no one was listening to that stuff.
yeah.
We were listening, pop or whatever. So, and so that mix kind of growing up has affected my music, in a strange way, I feel it's a good way and in a
But
different way.
I mean, to be fair, all music is connected, really, isn't it?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
if you listen to some very early sort of ska tunes coming from Jamaica, I mean, you can hear Fats Domino in there, you know,
Yes.
and he
Yes.
had jazz influences and all sorts. And then if you listen to the Scatolites, it's very jazz influenced.
That's
So
right. Right. Yeah. And Scott has an energy to it that I really love,
yeah,
And I even slip that energy of ska into a lot of my rhythms, So
I,
so it's good.
I've had a good listen. Now, I know you've lived in quite a few places in the world. I think Mexico, Honduras, Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
and they've got some great grooves going on over there too, haven't they?
Great, man. Yeah, great. They got some real fun grooves. Even Mexico, like even the mariachi stuff, it's kind of fun in a way.
Yeah.
They've got some really good, like especially when you get to the coastal. A lot of people don't know this, but when you get to the coast of these places, you're gonna find a lot of black folk, man, on
Yeah.
these coasts, right?
Right.
Bringing over that African influence to the culture,
Yeah.
and it just has a way of mixing with different cultures and bringing out really cool sounds.
Yeah.
So I really, it's quite enjoyable.
So when you were sort of living in these places. What happened then? Did you got something, deep inside you that made you want to start a project, right? Am I right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes. So, well, okay. Well, so growing up in Toronto, so I grew up in a rough neighborhood,
yeah,
government housing, and all my friends. I shouldn't say all. Okay, it wasn't all of them, but a large amount of them were doing bad stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I know.
Just doing stuff you do in neighborhoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I just didn't get involved with any of that because I really do cite it was music and art. So when they were like, I often tell people you can't like be learning the guitar and like go out and like rob somebody. It doesn't work. You know what I mean?
that's right.
You know what I mean?
And
You can't do piano lessons and then go out and like beat people up. Like it just the
mm,
world is just a different part of you that you start accessing.
quite right.
Through,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was it for me. That really getting involved with the music, listening to the music I was listening to, and then starting to play drums. I started playing drums at my church actually, and
Right.
at the time, and I just kind of fell into the world of music. And you're too spiritually awake when you start, getting into music and getting into art. And it really just like opened my mind up. It opened my mind up. It made me want to learn more about many things, and it made me want to be successful. And so I thought that this would be something really great to give to some of the people that I've been encountering in the places I've lived. I thought it would be a great key to help them open
And these
doors.
are these are poor kids, really, that we're talking about. Who don't
Yeah,
have the opportunity that we do to get into music, and they can't afford to buy instruments and things like that. I'm guessing. So you
yeah,
started the Genesis Community of the Arts project.
that's right. So I founded that about over 5 years ago now. We're almost 6 years now.
Yeah.
That was in Honduras, and so I was living in Honduras. I was working with a summer camp, helping kids out, and I noticed that nobody in town, like including adults, people our age, young people, had a chance to practice on the guitar or even learn a chord. Sing something that's different than their national anthem or like pop music that they hear on the radio, right?
Yeah.
And never painted, never did any form of dance. I thought it was a shame. So I decided to start my project. I had no money, right?
Yeah.
And so the organization I was down there with, I told them about my idea. They're like, well, you don't have any money. Like, how are you going to do it? And I'm like, well, I have these. And I had some CDs I just pressed because I had just made an album. And so I started playing. I just started touring, trying to get shows around Central America. Worked out really good, and I've traveled through Central America like 3 times full tours.
Yeah.
And I raised money to get the initial instruments and get the location to start the school.
Okay. Did you buy the instruments in like Toronto and take them there, or did you buy them when you got
Um,
there?
yeah, I bought them down there, and I had some really interesting stuff. So every show I played, I'd say, "Hey, everyone, I'm Duane. Thanks for coming. Just so you know, I'm on tour right now. I run this project, and we don't have any blue paint. So I'm trying to get some money together so I can buy enough blue paint, right, for the
Yeah.
rest of the semester."
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, "Hey, I'm raising money to buy a couple keyboards."
Yeah.
I've had people go home and come back to the show with a guitar, even with a keyboard one time,
Yeah.
and said, "I want to give this to the project." They like brought a physical keyboard,
Yeah.
to the show.
I mean, music is a gift. Let's be fair. To me, it's like learning a foreign language, and once you've learned it, you're fluent. You just can't give it up, and it's another method of expression. And
Yeah,
personally, I find, being in a ska band myself,
yeah,
it makes me forget about my aches and pains and my age and my worries. I leave all that behind, and it's just the best thing ever. And I'm
that's right.
sure that these kids suddenly discover this. All of a sudden, they have this new avenue in which to express themselves and
Yeah,
go mad. It's
exactly.
I think it's a great
Exactly.
project that you're doing, and of course you donate the proceeds of your albums for these kids, don't you?
That's right. Yeah. So I use the profit from my music to run the. So right now, my charity. Actually, I haven't been calling for donations. I've been running it completely off of my musical proceeds, which has been super challenging and super
I
fun.
bet. Yeah, I bet.
Pushing me to the limits. So it's been really great. But now we're expanding a bit, and so I'm going to start reaching out to my community to see if there's people that'd like to get involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, up until this point, I've funded it almost entirely off of my music, which is really cool. I think I'm like, wow, man, I'm doing all right if I can do that, you know?
Yeah,
So,
sure. Is
yeah.
this what you do for a day job as well?
Yeah, well, actually, during the day in Toronto, about a few times a week, I run a studio very similar to Genesis
Yeah.
for at-risk kids from a neighborhood very much like the one I grew up in. And so I teach them in here how to songwrite. I have recording equipment. As you can see, I got some guitars. I'm in the studio. Yeah, we do recording. I teach them how to play instruments. I work in partnership with dancers to teach dance, and I teach them how to do film. But most importantly, I teach them how to make a business of it.
Right.
Get their social media up, get a website up, and give them the tools so that they can start making money. Because a lot of people don't do music because everyone tells you, your parents always tell you, that's not a job. You can't make any money from that.
You'll be a bum.
You'll be a bum.
And they're always
Everyone knows
shouting at
that.
you, turn it down.
Right.
But isn't this a wonderful thing about live music? Where you actually hopefully get paid to make that racket that your parents told you to turn down.
That's right. Right. Exactly. They're like, turn that racket down. My mom was always supportive, even in my very annoying drum years, right? Yeah. So she was always very supportive. Because she's Jamaican. They love music, man.
Yes,
right?
That's a big advantage. Now, I see that you tend to favour the acoustic guitar.
Yeah. So on the wall here, actually, I don't have my favorite. I got a couple of electrics here in the corner and stuff. But my favorite guitar is actually a nylon string guitar. It's a French guitar, Duane. Maybe you guys hear about it out there.
Yeah, I thought you might have gone for a Godin, Canadian
Yes.
made.
Yes, that's what I use. I use a Godin. I use a Godin hybrid.
Yes.
It's nylon string, but it's electric, and it has a punch to it. I like the punch, but it has the sweetness of the nylon.
Yeah. I suppose the beauty of that is that you can go and busk with them without having to plug in as well.
That's right. It's semi-acoustic, so you can bust it out if you wanted to. It's not super loud, but you could do it. But yeah, that's my guitar.
Well, one of the things I noticed that you did was you sort of mixed up John Denver's "Country Roads Take Me Home" with Bob Marley's "Three Little Birds."
Yeah. Yes, I love that. As you know, Jamaicans have we have a talent of taking any song of any genre and just turning it into reggae somehow, right? Like it's kind of
Well, of course, Toots and the Maytals did their own version, which is "Take Me Home, Country Roads." And he's talking about the mountains of Jamaica then, rather than West Virginia.
West Virginia, right? Which is perfect. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking if we can get you over to Britain sometime, we'll get you up with my band, the Navarrones, and we'll do that. The Toots and the Maytals version.
That's great. Yeah. That sounds lovely. That'd be
fantastic.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I know you brought out a new album in. This year, July this year, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
Tell us all about that.
Yeah. So it's called The Climb. All of my albums that I'm releasing in the next little while, I'm probably going to do one more. They're under this theme called Apple in the Tree. So the album before was called Apple in the Tree. Share. This one's called The Climb, but it's kind of Apple in the Tree, The Climb. It's based on a story. I used to live in Mexico, and there was a girl I really liked there. I was a missionary though in Mexico. I was working with drug addicts
Right.
and had no money. Like no, it was like all we had was like a stipend to like buy deodorant, and and the groceries. And so I couldn't even take her out to coffee, but I did like her, and she could tell. And this went on for like about a year. I did nothing. I made no move. I couldn't do anything. And then one day she told me this story in Spanish where she said that she was an apple high in the tree.
Right.
And that in the tree there's many other apples and there's some on the ground that you could just pick up. But if I wanted to be with her, I had to climb. That's what she said. And it stuck with me, man. It just seared into my mind,
Playing hard to get there, I think.
That's right. So after she told me that, at first I didn't understand it. I thought she was being weird and artsy,
Oh yeah.
But as time passed, I thought about it and what that means, and it really did. It really did affect me. So this album. So the one I did before was called Chercher, which is French like to search.
Yeah.
And this one's called The Climb, and it's just about what it takes to kind of become the struggle and what it takes for me to become the right person I need to be.
Yeah.
Right. In order to get up to the level of the partner that I want.
Yeah.
So there's a few tunes on the album that's about just like. Me feeling right about myself, like Piece of Cake, which kind of has a ska influence.
Yeah.
And Oceans has a bit of like a surfer influence. Oceans is about I went through a hard time and just kind of getting back on my feet and seeing possibility out there,
Yeah.
So the album visits those themes and it's been fun and it's acoustic and I've been getting a pretty good reception for it, which is good.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited. So me and the team were already working on. So that album just came out, but you know how the business goes.
Yep.
We're already working on the new album, so I'll be releasing an EP in January.
Cool.
So
where can people find your music?
Yeah, so I'm online on all social media as Duane Forrest, Duane Forrest with 2 R's. I have a website, Duane's Guitar,
right?
DUANES guitar.com, and all my stuff's on there. It's on all of those music platforms.
Apple Music, Spotify, things like
all
that.
Yeah. Apple Music, The Climb, that album, The Climb is on all that. Yeah.
And you signed to Trax Music, I believe.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
Duane, it's been great talking to you. We're going to get you over to Britain, and we're gonna spread the word. And
okay.
I will make sure that I know you've been to Camden and Brighton, and you enjoyed your fish and chips in Brighton. We're going to make sure that you have some good Welsh fish and chips too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm into it.
All right. Thank you very much, Duane, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Man, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, Duane. Bye now.